My name is David Yokelson. I haven't driven in 15 plus years, basically because of two situations with the same insurance company. I would say both times that I didn't understand my legal rights and was taken advantage of by the insurance company, the people associated with the insurance company, which it happens to be Arbella Mutual Insurance Company. I've reached out to them half a dozen times and no response. Different people there, 5 or 6 different people, so they're just not even answering. Anyway, so the situation, it's pretty involved. I'll try to be quick. So I had 2 cars, and a young female asked to borrow one of them to help her grandmother move. I said, don't you want to get a truck or something? She said, we're getting a truck. I need the car to go pick up the truck. So she was supposed to be gone for 2 or 3 hours. I didn't hear. I gave her one of my cars to drive, so she was out of contact for like 8 or 10 hours. Finally calls me late at night and says, I'm so sorry. I was in a minor accident with your car. The car's fine. It just has a few scratches on it, but I had to leave the scene because there's a warrant for my arrest. And so you're going to have to call the police and find out where the car got towed to. And please don't use my name because I'll get arrested. So I didn't want to be, a snitch. And it didn't seem to matter if the car was taken by someone I knew or someone I didn't know, because I was just going to go find out where it was and go get it and take it home. So I did as she requested, and I reported it stolen. The police told me where it was. When I finally saw the car, I don't know if it was the next day or a week later or whatever, it was not just minor scratches on the car. It was major damage. So now I had to file an insurance claim, and I initially stuck with the same story, that it was stolen by unknown persons. But I soon decided to come clean and tell them, the police and the insurance company, the real story. And that was not because of 100% because of the, Mr. Honest or anything. It was because the police refused to close out the investigation. They said cars don't get stolen in Sharon, Mass. And so they didn't close out the investigation, so the insurance company wouldn't pay the claim. So kind of didn't have any choice but to come clean about it. But that's what I did. And so I actually called a friend of mine, was a Sharon police officer, and I gave him the full proper story over the main line that you use to call when you're calling in something to the police. This was in 1998. So anyway, I told him what happened, and he later told me that, you called us on a recorded line, so there's nothing we could do for you. Maybe if I wanted to go to bat for me somehow, I should have tried calling him at home or something. But anyways, they charged me with false report of stolen motor vehicle. But they seem to understand that I was a victim, not a criminal pulling a insurance fraud or anything like that. The prosecutor offered to drop the case after 3 months if I didn't get in any other trouble. And they call that CWOF, continuation without a finding of guilt or innocence. And so I ultimately accepted that deal. I didn't get in trouble for 3 months. The case was dismissed without a finding. So when I originally corrected my story with the insurance company, they moved the matter to a special claims investigator. So from the start working with, this is Arbella Insurance Company, Mutual Insurance Company, Quincy, Massachusetts. From the very beginning of working with Kevin Lynch, who was the new investigator, I told him the complete story, proper story. And he said, well, first of all, I want to pay this claim. And he also encouraged me to take the CWOF offer. He said it wasn't going to change his mind about whether to pay the claim or not. So that's what I did. And then as soon as I told him I had accepted that offer, he said, well, I'm going to deny your claim, in direct contradiction to what he had told me. That he said he's going to deny the claim because I pled guilty. I said, you told me you weren't going to do that, and I didn't even plead guilty. It was continued without a finding of guilt or innocence, et cetera, et cetera. So he called me into his office one day, and when I got there, he had a claim withdrawal form all typed up with all the dates and, the car number, the claim number, everything else. And he handed me this form and he says, Dave, you got two choices. You can withdraw your claim, or if you don't withdraw your claim, I'm going to deny the claim anyway, but I'm also going to report you to insurance fraud division, and you'll likely never be able to get insurance or drive a car ever again in your life. So I was, felt like I was being blackmailed, bullied, whatever. I was very angry. I didn't know my rights. I didn't understand that I could have just let them deny the claim and then take them to some court or some hearing somewhere and sue them for not paying the claim, which is what I should have done. I felt like I had no other choice. I withdrew the claim. So a couple years later, I'm at Cobb's Corner in Sharon. I took a legal left turn and I got slammed into by this woman who was speeding, excuse me, and trying to get through the yellow light before it turned red, right? So she slammed into my side. And anyway, months went by, and it turned out she had actually filed a claim with the same insurance company, Arbella Insurance. She was insured with them, and they called me 6 months or a year after that accident and said, was I involved in this accident? And I said, yes. But first of all, it was your insured party's fault, not mine. And second of all, she didn't have any damage on her car. I was the one that got all the damage. So didn't hear back again for another few months. And it turns out they paid the claim to the woman. And then they hired this third-party law firm, Bolden and Bonfiglio, who specializes in subrogation matters involving car accidents. Anyway, so Bolden and Bonfiglio now takes me to court to try to get the money that Arbella paid. Arbella paid about $1,700 to the woman. I think $200 or $300 for damage to the car, and the rest was for renting an alternative transportation while the car was getting fixed or something. Anyway, so I go to Attleboro court, civil matter or small claims matter or something. A lawyer from Bolden and Bonfiglio is there. The woman who was driving isn't there. Her husband, the policyholder, isn't there. I'm assuming the case is going to get dropped. The judge says, "Who are you?" to the lawyer from Bolden and Bonfiglio, and he says, this is a subrogation matter. I represent the insurance company who was insuring the driver of this car, and I'm still expecting the case is going to get dropped. The judge said, okay, well, let's go forward. I think I made a mistake in not specifically making a motion for the case to be dismissed. Obviously, it's an unfair trial, not a level playing field, because the other driver's not there to testify, to be cross-examined. So I was the only person that testified and got cross-examined, and I ultimately lost the case. I'm not sure why, but the judgment was against me. And a couple of years later, that was probably sometime between 2002 2004, and maybe 2004 2005, my license comes up for renewal, and I haven't paid the $1,700 judgment to Bolden and Bonfiglio because I didn't cause the accident, and also because it's Arbella Insurance who refused to pay. I had a legitimate, when the girl borrowed my car in 1998, I considered that a very valid, legitimate claim, which they didn't pay, which they kind of bullied and blackmailed me into withdrawing the claim. So I hated Arbella with a passion. And I had basically, paid this ransom to them by dropping my claim with the girl in 1998. It's like paying a ransom to be able to keep driving. So now I had to pay another ransom in 2005 to Bolden and Bonfiglio, essentially to Arbella again, to be able to drive. And my attitude was like, I may not drive for 100 years, but it's going to be 1,000 years before I ever give these people another penny. So that's where it's been for 15 years, and it's been pointed out to me that I'm hurting myself, not them, by not just paying it. And I am hurting myself. Who knows? I might be married with kids. A lot of jobs that I would have had. Not having a car is a big thing, but I just feel on principle I couldn't get myself to pay it, So anyway, at this point, I've contacted Arbella. Somebody told me they might settle for less money at this point. Arbella says, well, talk to the lawyer. The lawyer says, talk to Arbella. Nobody wants to even discuss a possible settlement. The $1,700 judgment is now at $2,200. I'm looking for Bolden and Bonfiglio to waive the claim or negotiate a smaller settlement amount, or for Arbella to do one of those things, say, okay, never mind, we actually owe you. I can't get anything done on this. So my only alternative is to pay what I feel is a very wrongful, kind of a ransom that I feel I've already paid a ransom to this company. I don't want to pay the other one. So I'm reaching out to, TV stations, lawyers, anyone that might be able to help me. If there's anything I can do to get out of the situation in a fair way, because it would pain me so much to kind of give up the fight, to someone that bullied me, and it's like continuing to give the bully the lunch money or something. I don't know. I'm just looking for a better way out of it. So that is, we got in under 15 minutes there. There's another version of this. I probably left some things out of that version, left some things out of this version. If anybody would be willing to, go to bat for me, I'd super appreciate it. Thank you.